Mitch Carmichael is the president of the state Senate, Republican Jackson County, and a driving force behind this legislation. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline. Mitch, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Hoppy. How are you? Good morning.
I'm well, thank you. Do you expect this bill to get any changes today during amendment stage?
Well, we have a few amendments ourselves that we want to use to perfect the bill in some more degree, and we'll certainly keep an open mind and listen to what everyone has to say. But we're going to thoughtfully consider those amendments and march forward. This is a significant step in the process of reforming education. Today is a significant event, and I'm as excited as you could be about improving student performance, enhancing teacher pay, and giving parents options. This is what we need in the state of West Virginia.
Tell me of course you all have the majority there, but tell me what Republican amendments you have in mind of significance to this bill.
It's mostly just cleanup things as far as language, technical corrections, those type things. And we've heard from some of the education community that we're very concerned about the flexibility that it provided as it related to increasing class sizes for the counties. And we stripped that out. And there's just a couple other little cleanup measures, and I'm understanding that's in the system. There is, amendments from the minority party that strips everything out but a pay raise. But that's why this is such an important step in this process. Is we will hear all those considerations, but we are going to march forward with a coordinated, comprehensive education reform plan that puts our students first, our teachers enhance compensation, and gives our parents flexibility and options.
Senate President Mitch Carmichael is with us. One of the sections of the bill, and I'm going to belabor this point because I don't think too many people have been talking about it or writing about it, but it's one that I've done some research on, and that is the provision that empowers county school boards to increase the maximum levy rates on property up to the limits established by the state code. The state school board actually endorsed this proposal, but this is controversial, Mitch, because it would allow county school boards to vote among themselves, or like a 3-2 vote, 4-1, 5-0, to actually raise the levy rate, which would increase the property taxes in that county. Are all Republicans on board with that plan, and why or why not?
Okay, thank you. It's a great question. I need to provide some clarification because I think a lot of people don't understand what's going on with this.
Right.
There are excess levies that 38 other counties have, 38 counties have. Those will continue to be voted on by the people. So anyone that, that's not changing at all. The regular levy rate has historically been placed in the county boards of education up until like 1970. And at that point, the legislature took that ability away from them. And for since that point in time, we have heard from all the people that look at West Virginia's education system and say, you don't have any options at the local level. You have no flexibility. We want local control, more control at the local level. And the legislature is simply saying with this, there is no tax increase in this. There's no tax increase in it. So I want to say that absolutely. This provides options at the county level if they the elected officials in that county wanted to do so. So, and this is first step in the process. This can get amended. It can be changed somewhat. It could be put to the vote of the county. But we have to provide options at the local level for more flexibility because, Hoppy, we're going to miss the point if we don't focus on the fact that this education system in West Virginia has not worked for our students. We are finishing near last in America. That's not acceptable, and this is the moment, this is the time, this is our chance to move this state forward and provide education for our students, options for our parents, and invest in our teachers. And you say that there are teachers that don't like the components of this bill, and let me just elaborate on that. This pay raise, in conjunction with last year, this Republican majority will have invested more in our teachers than any in the previous history of West Virginia. This is an enormous pay raise coupled with last year, in addition to the PEIA increases with no premium increases for our public employees. We're providing compensation if you don't use your sick days. We're providing tax credits for teachers that spend money for their classrooms. We're getting teacher input for promotion. We're giving math differentials. There is a wonderful package in place for the teachers. But for our students and parents, we have to raise performance level. And that is why it's such an exciting day. And I hope everyone in West Virginia is morally inspired to help our students become better, our teachers to have more compensation, and our parents to have options.
Mitch, there are a lot of things in there that will be beneficial for teachers and service workers et al.
Yes.
As you just laid out. Why, though, would you include a couple of things that you know just poke the teachers and the teacher organizations and infuriate them and actually generate opposition to a bill that has a lot of good things in it, like paycheck protection? Why include that when you know it's going to incite and make it harder to get these other things through?
We cannot avert our gaze or turn an eye because someone objects to a certain provision that is, for some reason, people pick out the very small components of an incredibly comprehensive, beneficial bill and say, oh my gosh, I'm against the whole thing because this little provision in here, which, let me talk about paycheck protection just for a second because it's such a small component of the bill. Every other entity in West Virginia that wants to grab money out of a person's paycheck, you want money extracted from your paycheck, must authorize it. That's all we're doing. We're saying just sign a form once a year that says, I want somebody to take money out of my paycheck. There's nothing. Is that such an onerous provision that the United Way does it? Every other entity says, hey, do you mind signing a form so that I can come in and take money out of your paycheck?
No, I understand. I mean, I do. I understand.
To me, that is such a nothing provision, and it just puts teachers in control to say, hey, you know what? I get a chance once a year to authorize this.
I do.
Union leaders.
I understand. Well, but the union leaders have a significant role in this bill and what happens with this bill. All I'm saying that. Well, go ahead.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't have a significant role in what happens with this bill. A union leader who gets compensation from this entity shouldn't have. I mean, we'll listen to the teachers, but a union leader, I understand they're having a press conference today to say what they're going to do with this bill.
Right.
I mean, that should be offensive to the people of West Virginia. I mean, we don't see, other groups having a rally to say, here's what I'm going to do with this bill because I'm a union leader.
Do you think, and I know that the teacher organizations are asking their members for authorization to take a job action, to strike if they deem it necessary. It's not a strike action, but they're asking for authorization to potentially call a strike. What is your reaction to that?
Why? I mean, I don't understand why anyone would be encouraged to strike over the largest pay raise in state history, no increases to your health insurance, payment if you don't use your sick day, tax credits if you spend money in your classes, additional pay if you get mass certification. What is the objection to that? What we're really focused on, what these union groups are focused on, is charter schools, ESAs. And there's this little, head nod to paycheck protection, which is such a nothing provision. But charter schools is such a limited criteria here. We're talking about 44 other states that authorize charter schools. In the event West Virginia becomes the 45th state to do so, we might have 2, 3, 4 over the next 4 years that would absolutely help the lives of the people and the students that would otherwise have been in a situation that wasn't good. The parents didn't feel it was good for them. And education savings accounts, here's another thing people need to realize. We're talking about limiting it. It's in the code to less than 1% of the public school students in West Virginia. So you're going on strike for a provision that gives options to students that comprise less than 1% of the student population? I mean, I'm excited for the teachers, the parents, and the students for this bill to progress through the system and finally lift West Virginia out of the doldrums of our education system.
All right,
we can be the best in America.
That's
what we're intent on doing.
Let's see what happens in the Senate today as you go to amendment stage. Senate goes in at 11 o'clock. Mitch, thanks for coming on. It's good to have you on.
Hey, it's great to be on. I'm looking forward to speaking with you further about this bill.
All right, thank you. Senate President Mitch Carmichael. We'll be right back.